Hi again everyone, Scott Pyre, Popcorn fan here, and in this video, it is finally time to do my full season review for Superman Lois Season 3. Apparently yesterday was Superman Day, because between the Superman Lois Season 3 finale and the news about the casting for the Superman Legacy movie directed by James Gunn, yesterday was Superman Day. And if I'm being honest, I've also been rewatching Smallville ever since I saw The Flash for the first time in theaters. So I'm I'm in all DC mode lately. So okay, let's do this review. All right, Superman Lois Season 3. This season has been quite the ride, from the drama to the all the Superman stuff going on in the background as well. I definitely think this is one of the better seasons. Like, I definitely think Season 3, I like it a lot more than Season 2. In regards to the first season, I still think that's the best season. But I think what they did with the story here, I thought was really well handled. Granted, in last night's season finale, there were a lot of plot threads that weren't all concluded, which is why I'm thankful that the show was renewed for a fourth season, especially for the fact that last night's episode ended on a cliffhanger. Granted, it was quite the cliffhanger. Oh my goodness. So there's one character in particular that was in season 2 that I wasn't sure was going to come back or not this season. He did, and when the character was first introduced, people thought he was going to be Doomsday. So it was, but it turned out to be like a version of Bizarro Superman, and they brought him back. And what they did in the finale, okay, it's interesting because for those of you that have seen Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which I'm sure a lot of you have, what they do with that version of Doomsday in that movie, it's sort of similar to what they did with the Superman and Lois version of Doomsday. It's sort of similar in a sense that if you bring back a dead Kryptonian, and it's sort of like they're not the same after that, and it just becomes monstrous, and what they do with Doomsday in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is interesting, and also they sort of do that again with this version of Doomsday in the finale. Spoilers here. So I don't worry, I'll put like a spoiler warning. But yeah, and also throughout the season, we had the main villain in the form of Bruno Mannheim, played by Chad L. Coleman, who I thought was a great villain. I definitely think he was definitely the highlight of the season, especially with his wife Priya, who had powers, like these sonic powers coming out from her mouth. And I thought that was an interesting story because it also tied into like several other arcs with other characters. And that's something the show always did very well with. Always having several different side stories that eventually would connect and have a satisfying conclusion. And I do think that what they did with that story with Priya and what was going on with her, also sort of being parallel to what was going on with Lois Lane this season, because Lois Lane, she had stage 4 breast cancer, which that's a pretty serious thing to have in a superhero show. And it really hit me when that was first revealed with Lois Lane. And like, this season has been a very emotional ride, and I think Bruno Mannheim, before the penultimate episode, I thought they did a decent job concluding his arc. I felt for I felt for him in a way, even though he was the villain, because it's a relatable thing to, you know, think about in real life too. Because if you have like a sick someone who's really sick that you're really close with, that's really something that's very relatable. And I think it's really just boils down to how the people you're with, you support them no matter what. And even sometimes you might do something that might be bad, but it's for that person that you care about so much. And I think that's really fascinating and very moving and relatable. And I just think that Superman Lois has always done a good job with that, with the storytelling. Really good writing from season 1 all the way to season 3. This has been a very impressive Superman TV show, especially compared to some of the other Arrowverse shows. I definitely like this show so much. Like, compared to some of the other Arrowverse shows, it's easily one of my favorites. And I think what they do in the finale, like I said, it ended on a cliffhanger. So I'm really glad that the show was renewed for a 4th season. And oh yeah, Doomsday, like, Superman and Doomsday fighting on the moon, and that's where they ended the episode. So it ended on quite the bang in regards to this epic battle between Superman and Doomsday, and I'm really curious how that fight will continue when season 4 starts. And it is unfortunate that a lot of the main cast were, sort of downgraded due to the ongoing writer's strike, and also a limit of 10 episodes for the next season as well. But I'm assuming that even though a lot of the main characters and cast were, not going to be returning as series regulars, they could still, have recurring roles throughout the next season. So it's not like they won't come back at all. But yeah, there's that. And also the fact that something that I am happy with is that they upgraded Michael Cudlitz to a series regular for the next season. And I'm really happy for that. Lex Luthor as the main villain. Hell yeah. So yeah, I think Superman Lois season 3 has been an amazing season. Definitely worth it. In regards to like some things that I didn't like quite as much this season, it was some of the things that they did with Jordan, Clark's son. Some of the things that they did with Jordan this season, I didn't like as much, in regards to how in the later episodes, he was sort of bragging about his abilities, and also the way he was treating Sarah. Some of those things I didn't really like as much, but they ended things on good terms, I guess, Jordan and Sarah in the finale. Relatively good terms, but I don't know how that will turn out in the next season. I'm not sure, but yeah, overall, this has been an amazing show, an amazing season. I would definitely give this an A. I love this. It was so great. And I've seen Doomsday adapted quite a few times now, from season 8 of Smallville to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, and now this, Superman Lois season 3. I'm not sure which version of Doomsday I like the best. I'd have to think about that for a while, but I'm not sure, but we'll see. If Doomsday is also a recurring villain in the next season, I'm sure we'll see more of him as well. So that's really exciting, and I can't wait. That should do it for this video. And in regards to yesterday's news, I think that's really exciting too. I think Superman Lois season 4 will help hold us over until Superman Legacy comes out in 2025. So yeah, and I think in regards to the casting, David Cornsweet as Clark Kent, he looks the part. He looks like every other actor that has played him these past 20 years. Henry Cavill, Tom Welling, Brandon Routh, Christopher Reeves. It's like all these actors come from an assembly line or something. David Cornsweet is just the next actor that looks like he comes off that assembly line. And then also Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. She looks the part. She reminds me of Elizabeth Tulloch. So, great casting for Superman Legacy, and I'm excited for that movie and this upcoming 4th season of this show. So yeah, that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.